Restaurant Unstoppable. Inspire, empower, and transform the industry. With excitement, allow me to welcome back on the show for a second time. We're not sure if it's the third time. We can't find the second episode if this is the third time.
Can't find the first one.
The first one is 426. So if it's, and we don't even know who we're talking to yet. This is Mikey Sorboro from Late Night Slice. And man, if you guys did not catch episode 426, I'm telling you right now, hit pause, head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/426. That's our original conversation where we share Mikey's come up and how he got to where he was in 2018, January of 2018. Today, we're picking up where we left off, and maybe we're talking a little bit about the future, and I'm really excited for today's conversation. But before we get going, before we start, the conversation where we left off, what we got to do. This isn't your first rodeo. We got to get that motivational, inspirational ball rolling.
Yep.
With a success quote or mantra.
Well, first, Eric, I am feeling unstoppable. And my success quote or mantra is, this is something that we've pulled, and this is our rally cry during COVID, which is don't give up the ship. And we will dig into that, I'm sure, a little bit later. But that is, that was our mantra about being resilient, about being creative, about making it through, about not giving up. So, that's really stuck with us. We got a flag in the office. I got a flag hanging from my house that says "Don't give up the ship."
I love that.
And that was something that's really resonated with us over the last 16 or so months.
You know what I love about that? And thinking about my good friend Mario Del Perro from Mendocino Farm is talking about language and culture. And we need to create language and culture, things that identify us with the group. And like having little like slogans like that echo day in and day out, like mantras and chants are so powerful.
Absolutely.
We'll get into why they're so powerful.
What it does is it consolidates everybody's thinking to one channel, to everything we do, everything we did over the last almost 2 years was no matter what gets thrown at us, we don't give up.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were going to look like after COVID, but we knew we'd be here. Mm-hmm. All right. So when you have culture is language. It's the things you use. It's what you call people. We don't have employees. We have paisans.
Yep.
Paisans. It's our little pizza making thing. All your culture is about the things that you name, the specific, aspects of your company. So, don't give up the ship for us was, that was our big umbrella rally cry that, that said we were going to be resilient, that said we were going to be creative, that said no matter what gets thrown at us, we will make it to the end of this thing. No matter how long it takes, we will be here. We don't know what we're going to look like, but we're going to be here.
I love this, man. Great way to get it started. And I can't believe I didn't ask if you're feeling unstoppable, but you knew.
I got it, man.
You knew. And that's just how comfortable I am around you. I don't think I've ever forgotten to ask my guests if they're feeling unstoppable. I'm just so comfortable around you. So before we get started, we're already kind of into it, but I think it's important to point out to my listeners that when I first interviewed Mikey back in January of 2018, that was the first road trip, like the real deal road trip where I, no turning back. What's that? Like burn the ships, like no turning back.
Exactly,
like I'm in this, like I was 4 years into Restaurant Unstoppable. And at this point, like the majority of my interviews had been remotely, and I was kind of doing some local on-site interviews. But this was the point where I was like, I'm going all out. Like I'm going in my car, my Honda Fit. I'm just going to who will ever receive me. Yeah. And Mikey was on that first road trip. I stopped first in Pittsburgh, and I came to Columbus, Ohio. And you made that first trip possible, and you helped me realize that this vision that I had of just going and sitting down in restaurants and talking to restaurateurs was possible. And I kind of feel guilty because I recorded the interview before I got here because I was so desperate for interviews. And then you're like, I was hoping you would do it in person. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come back, because I wanted to give you that opportunity to do it in person. And here we are today. Yeah. But I just want to say thank you, man, because you made it possible. And I probably, if I didn't have that support from that first wave of people when I said, I want to do this, if I didn't have people come back and say, come visit me, come here, I probably wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much. Like, I wouldn't be here without you.
Well, like I said, man, that is a very mutual sentiment because, I have personally gotten so much from listening to the interviews that you've done. So I've gained so much from your hard work too. So I throw that one right back at you, man.